only an hour and 45.
Gotcha. Well, if there's a way to loop it, then go for it.
Alright, I can put in the command.
Let me know how the... Wait. Here, I
It's
can...
playing an ad, so hang on. This is the most confusing ad I've ever seen. There we go. Okay, what is happening here? Watch now. Okay, that's what was happening now. Okay, yeah, I can see Badlands Trappers Camp. Last day, 20th of Peleros, year 211. DM cast, NPCs.
Yes, and I will update the cast thing when it happens. I am finding the tweet so I can retweet it. There it is.
I suppose I should do that.
Well, I suppose. So this is where the video is going to start after I edit it. Welcome, everyone. I want to make a side note because we do have Derek and Tristan present for today's adventure, episode 3, Diplomacy of the Pockets. Something to keep in mind is we do have a third person in the call in addition to me. His name is Logan. He can say hi if he wants to.
Hello, everyone.
That's
Hi,
Logan.
Logan.
Wasn't that a great hello?
It was. Professional.
Do not be jarred if you hear him piping in further into the adventure. He is playing a character. Hey, it works. Do you like it, Tristan? Do you like the chat box thing?
Yes, I see it. It has a gray background, which makes the text much easier to see.
Yes, it was a theme that all I had to do was click it. Isn't it great?
Neat.
Logan is playing a character in today's adventure, but he has not been introduced yet, so I'm just letting you know he is here, so you don't get confused when suddenly there is a fourth person in the call. So with that said, it is the 20th of Peleros, which the day of the week is Raz Day. It's essentially Thursday. In the year 2011, we are in the midst of a heist, aka Diplomacy of the Pockets. So for a short recap, there's some douche called Alpheus going around in the Badlands. He is griefing people in the Badlands near Trapper's Camp, and he and his band of thugs apparently are able to get away with it because the Foremen of Trapper's Camp can't do anything. Why? Why do you ask? Because the law is not perfect, and sometimes you have diplomatic immunity because of a piece of paper that says you cannot be arrested. So here we are. Alpheus has diplomatic immunity. He is going around griefing those around Trapper's Camp, and also Rook and Gaz, our protagonists, have made a friend, Barton, who recently had a run-in with Alpheus, and his final catch of skin so he can retire from being a trapper in the Badlands has been taken by Alpheus. Hey, it's Logan from work is hosting us. Mine is set to auto-host and it doesn't host, so I need to do that automatically while I give the recap. We are in a situation now where because Alpheus has griefed one of their friends, and because it is apparent what needs to happen, they have chosen that Gaz is going to attempt to steal their diplomatic immunity certificate or paperwork of some kind. And that is where we went on pause in episode 1. And I'm going to host. Boom.
I believe that the setup for the scene we'll be jumping into was that Rook was hanging out and keeping keeping a watch on Barton to make sure that nobody came to mess with him, while I went and gathered some information as Gaz on Alpheus.
Yes, that is where we are at this exact moment.
So would you like to start with me or with Rook?
I will start with you. I will come back to Rook.
Okay. So I had just spoken with the barkeep, the tavern owner of the inn where we're staying. I had given him 2 silver, 3 silver total, in exchange for information on where and the kind of things that go on at the place Alpheus was staying, which it turned out to be the only other inn in town, which is much nicer. So I was going to head over there.
Okay, so we leave Rook sort of making sure no one bothers Barton. Barton, who has not left his room basically since he rented it. He said, do not get into trouble, but if you decide to get into trouble, let me know. And then he went to his room and closed the door. Rook is sort of keeping guard over that general area, and now Gaz has left the inn that is more of a small, seedy tavern and is heading towards the nice tavern that calls itself an inn. That is run by an elderly half-elf woman, and the tavern is called... Hold on, I've got to come up with a name. You know what? The name is irrelevant. Everyone calls it the Good Tavern.
Okay. It is that tavern, and we're at that other tavern.
You have arrived at the Good Tavern. And peering in, you see it is decent. You've seen better. This is not where you stayed last time you were in Trapper's Camp. Obviously, because it seems like it's got this air of, well, if you were to put it up against an actual high-end tavern in a commerce town, it wouldn't stand up very well, but it's set up in a way that it looks expensive, so they probably charge an awful lot here in Trapper's Camp. So we've got somewhat nice tables. We've got tablecloths on some of them to sort of hide the blemishes on the tables. Few of the tables are leaning, but it's Trapper's Camp. It's whatever. There's a fair amount of people just hanging out because it is the late evening.
Okay. If there's anybody about, like even outside of the tavern, walking on my way up, I do want to kind of listen to hear if anybody's talking specifically about Alpheus. And if, I can catch anybody on their own, I want to try and make very light conversation about Alpheus. And my goal here is to figure out exactly what town or city Alpheus must have come here from.
Ooh, okay. So, what's our first approach going to be?
I want to start outside the tavern because, I don't want to draw too much attention asking these kinds of questions before approaching the guy who owns the place. My approach is going to be as a traveler who had been hearing stories and wanted to be careful about the guy, and wanted to know if anybody knew where he, it seems like he's new to Trappers to Camp. From the stories I'd heard, but I hadn't heard where he's from. I wondered if anybody knew that. Kind of sell it like a normal, lost person looking for directions.
So is this kind of a gather information sort of situation?
Yeah, that's what I would like to do.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll for gather information.
Okay. Character sheet over here. Oh, good.
While you make that roll, I will add one more piece of description to the scene, which is there are the sounds of music coming from inside the Good Tavern. There's a single instrument.
Do I recognize the instrument from outside?
Logan, what instrument is it? He's not here.
Okay.
Well, it's whatever instrument Logan's bard is playing.
I have a lute. I'm sorry. It's a lute.
Okay. So I actually rolled really well, and I got a 23 on my gather information.
Wow. So
I am
gather information
trained.
takes a little bit of time.
Mhm.
speaking in hyperbole, obviously. You are hanging out outside. You're getting involved in different conversations. What is your charisma score, by the way?
It's a 10, actually. I'm very averagely charismatic, but I am very good at gathering information because I was trained to do so.
So you are more of a conversationalist than you are an attractive, charismatic person. And that's actually what I gathered from our last session, was you're a conversationalist. Well, you do gather a fair bit of information through the course of these conversations that you were having while you were treated to the sounds of beautiful lute music from inside. You find that, and I'm going to pull up a tab over here so I can give you some information. Here it is. The best you can tell, Alpheus has been a constant in these parts for about half a year now.
Mm-hmm.
No one knew of Alpheus beforehand in his gang of, we'll call them thugs, he calls them officials, whatnot. But
If he calls them officials, he must be saying who they're official for.
yeah, that's the interesting thing. It's all very vague. All they know is he claims to be an official from somewhere, and the location that he references a lot is Dolostad.
Dolostad. Okay. If my information all corroborates that this is the name when pressed that he gives, then we're gonna risk it for the biscuit, and we're gonna approach with that.
Okay.
Do any other big names besides Dolostad come up as I ask, a few people these questions? Or is Dolostad pretty constant?
It was one person who heard him mention the location Dolostad one time.
Okay.
But you can make another check for your additional question.
No, I think I can actually work with this a little better. If people really don't know, this may still work to my advantage.
I will add this to the cast box. There. Dolostad? So what is the course of action now?
The course of action is to straighten myself up, make myself look presentable, and carry myself with a air of importance. And I'm going to enter the establishment, the Good Tavern, and go up to the person running the place, or whoever seems to be running the place.
Okay, put a pin in that. I want to know, Rook, what are you doing right now? You have only been left by yourself for just under an hour.
I'd probably be trying my best to keep an eye on Barton and just occupy myself by sharpening my greatsword, probably.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, I've relocated myself to guard duty. I'm just trying to make sure nobody gets hurt.
I will tell you, so far nothing has happened.
Alright.
So now we get back to the tavern scene. We have Bard. I believe halfling, is that right?
Yes, halfling bard.
Yes, a halfling bard is in the corner of the tavern, for the most part being ignored, but playing away on his lute. There are various tables with gentlemen's games of chance occurring. And then at the counter is an elderly half-elf woman who is tending everything. And at one point, you even, as you're walking in, note that she gives a stern, loud word of knock that off to someone. So she is a respected member of the community as far as you can tell. Or she's the one who controls the flow of ale. It's one of both.
One or both. So she seems to be the one in control of the establishment then.
Yes, very much
Okay.
so.
Then I'm going to put myself at the bar where she can come to me rather than approaching her if she's in the middle of the room.
Sure. She is at the bar. She turns to you and says, "What can I do for you, sweetie?"
I'm going to pass a quick look around the place, kind of a almost air of condescension in my eyes. I will say, as smoothly as I can, "Well, lass, I'm one of Alpheus's officials from back his way, and I was told that I was to meet him in a room here. And when he explained exactly how much it would cost to get that meeting, I about shot myself. So if we could get that bit out of the way, and you could tell me where exactly I'm supposed to wait, I would be very much appreciative of it. I've traveled a long way to meet with my old friend."
Now, there's a brave gambit, Tristan, so I need you to make a roll here of bluff.
Mm-hmm. This one just rolled a 19, so maybe I should not trust that one to roll well again. Should have trusted that one. That's going to be a 6.
Oh,
Yeah, I rolled really not good.
Whatever you say, but I don't know who Alpheus even is, so are you ordering or are you leaving and going to go nurse with your mother?
I see. Well, given the respectability I know that our friend Alpheus has around here, I find it quite unlikely that you don't know who he is, especially since, as far as I'm quite well aware, he's staying in your fine establishment.
She
Now,
cocks an
we
eyebrow
had-
like maybe he is, maybe he isn't.
I'm going to start placing gold coins on the counter one at a time. Now, as I said, I was informed how expensive such a meeting was to arrange, and I was hoping that there'd be some kind of discount from you, given your fine establishment and good looks.
Make a diplomacy check. I will add a modifier based off of the flirtation and money.
Alrighty. That is a 5. My dice are betraying me tonight.
oh no.
Well, we're going to call that a basic success with the modifier. She says, "I'm listening." And she sort of angles herself on the counter. Not like she's not sitting on it, but she angles her body, her arm on the counter so that anyone nearby won't see what's going on.
I'm going to place 4 gold coins by the end of this count off on the counter. I'm going to say in a somewhat lower voice, "As I said, I'm looking for the room he's staying in because that's where he told me to meet him, and he told me it would be rather expensive to get that from you. Because, as he said, you do a very fine job protecting his interests."
She is more serious now than she has been. She is speaking only to you in a hushed tone and says, "You don't take kindly to us doing this sort of thing."
Given that I was told directly to meet him there, I would think it's in both our interests that we make this happen. And I place a 5th piece of gold on the counter.
Okay.
I think it is very much your while.
The 5th one is the straw on the camel's back. She caves, scoops up the money quickly and silently, not a scrape of metal on the wood, and whispers to you, "Room 3, I didn't tell you this."
I heard it from a ghost.
She gives you a look like you're a complete weirdo.
I walk away.
Mysterious Bard, can you make a listen or spot check?
Yes, let me. Oh, where'd my dice go?
My dice rolled a 19,
All
and
right.
then a 2, and then a 5.
I got a +4. What's a 16 get me?
You are aware that a perfect stranger halfling, not human, no, elf.
Elf.
You know, you're one of those races, Tristan.
One of them.
A mysterious, young-looking elf came in, had a hushed conversation with the barkeep, and you almost thought that a few times the name Alpheus came up. You know the name Alpheus. You don't like Alpheus. Just letting you know. Now we're going to get back to Rook for a second. Rook, you overheard a conversation just now. It wasn't from across the street, just in case you were going to ask. Oh, he said BRB. Is he not here?
As of 1 minute ago, he is not here.
Okay. I will send a message to the Discord. I'll get back to Rook. So we are back to Gaz.
Alrighty. I'm going to go to room 3. I will say, before I leave, I would, before we parted ways, I would have said, do I need a key or anything? I suspect it's locked.
I didn't know I was letting you in.
I think you know that all of Alpheus's friends are treated rather well. You wouldn't make one of his officials stand outside a door for gods know how long he's gonna take to get back, would ya?
Her reaction indicates she doesn't believe you're one of his officials.
I sigh audibly and shrug my shoulders and say, all right, you can take it up with Alpheus when he returns then. But the last innkeeper, we don't talk about that anyway. I'll be seeing you.
Okay, she allows you to leave.
I'm going to go and find room 3.
You find room 3. In a typical tavern setup, you have an area sort of overlooking the lobby / eating area. There's a balcony where there's some rooms, and then above the kitchen area is a whole host of rooms that are not near the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
So room 3 is just off the balcony area, so you can sort of see it if you get on the stairway and look up.
Mm-hmm.
It is currently locked.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I interrupted.
The door is locked.
Okay.
I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to get back to Rook.
Okay.
Rook, you overheard a conversation while you were sharpening your sword and whatnot. Were you in your room, or are you in the hallway next to the room?
I'd be wherever I could still have a line of sight to, like, Barton's front door.
Okay, that's sort of what I was envisioning, was that you weren't so much in your room as much as you were sort of near his door. From downstairs of the inn, you hear a conversation that kind of sticks out to you. And it's not so much that you're actively eavesdropping or anything, unless that's what you want to do, but I didn't figure that's what you were doing. You hear the name Barton, and you perk up your ears. Can you make a listen check for me?
I can try.
Make me spit my drink out.
Let me pull up my skill list here. Listen, I'm okay at that. 14.
That's good enough to hear the key points of the conversation. It essentially goes something like this. Did you hear Barton's back in town? What's that no good for nothing doing back in town? He should know better than to show his face in Trapper's camp.
Is there anything else, or is that what it concludes with?
That's basically what you heard. There was a little bit more. It wasn't so much like they were going to sit down and say exactly what they don't like about him, but it's very obvious that there are people, or at least these people, who are unhappy that Barton has returned to Trapper's camp.
With that, I'm gonna go and knock on Barton's door.
Okay, there's no answer.
I'll say, "It's Rook. We need to talk."
I'm not here.
Me either.
Real talkative for someone who's not there. All right.
Yeah, you're talkative for paladin.
Ooh.
Jerry.
Smack talk is live tonight.
He opens the door, probably right as you were thinking of not coming in. He's right in your face. Says, if you want to talk, we'll do it in here.
Exactly my thoughts. I head inside.
He closes the door after looking both ways, locks it, sits down on his modest-sized bed, makes eye contact.
It sounds like there's people downstairs rather disgruntled at you being back in town. Care to tell me why that is?
He shrugs. Probably because they don't like me.
Oh, come on. You can be specific. Maybe I can help.
Here, let me make a... Do a sense motive.
Sense motive. I think I put points in that. Hey, look, I did. Booyah, 21.
Darn. Okay. He is very obviously dodging your question. But it is obvious that people don't like him, and he knows exactly why they don't like him.
Uh-huh.
That's as much as I'll tell you based off of how far you beat him.
Okay. So, how does he respond to my further pressing of, maybe we can help?
It's fine. It's not a big deal. I already told you I'm retiring, and I'm not going to be here much longer.
That look on your face and their voices make it pretty clear it's not fine. And with that loss of pelts, it's going to take longer for you to retire, so it may be a problem for you, and I'd like to help. I owe you that much.
In what way are you offering to help?
In whatever way I can, once I know what the problem is. That has to come first, otherwise I can't do anything.
Well, I wasn't going to even involve you in the first place, so the only way you could help me is to help me leave Trapper's camp and never come back. So perhaps, if you're thinking of something foolish involving Alpheus, you would let me know. But otherwise, I will, in the morning, go out and catch more furs.
Are you sure I can't convince you to tell me?
I'd rather not.
It must be something awful for you to be holding on to it this tight.
He looks not offended, but more like he didn't want you to have said something like that about him, but he also can't dispute it.
I'm not trying to judge you if that's how you're feeling.
Can I just say it's behind me?
Fair enough. I have things I'd rather forget. I'll leave you to your business, but I'm just trying to look out for you.
I appreciate it, friend. Rook, was it?
Yes.
But I believe the best way to handle this is I just keep my head low, like I said, and I retire, I leave, and I don't come back because it is my fault, and I have attempted to make amends.
Can I? Would I need to roll sense motive to know if he's telling the truth? Or
Sure, you can
what
do
would-
that.
All right. I expect he is, but it doesn't hurt to double check. So sense motive,
Yes.
23.
With great confidence, you believe he's telling the truth.
All right. Well,
Quit hogging all the high rolls.
Well, Tristan,
Sorry.
time to make some rolls.
My 2 is mad at you.
well. Then I'll leave you to your forgetting.
I'm going to take a
Or-
nap, which is what I was doing before you got here.
Sorry for waking you then.
He doesn't seem bothered. Now we're back to Gaz and some other person that's in the situation.
Potentially. So, I want to go to the door quietly and listen to see if anyone is inside.
Make a listen check.
Okay. Use a different d20. All right, back to the 19.
Woo!
Listen. Listen gets a +3, so that's a 22.
There is no one in the room,
Okay.
or they're sleeping quietly, which is not a thing people in the Badlands do.
Okay. Given that I now know the room and I know that he's not there, I'm going to come back into the tavern part of the building and pretend to be listening to the bard, but I want to be checking the nearby tables to me for, do they use metal silverware here, like pewter perhaps?
Seems like it.
Cool. I want to get my hands on 2 forks.
Okay. Sleight of hand, I
means.
guess, unless you
Yep.
don't care.
Caring's probably a good idea. Okay, so that's an 18.
Perfect.
Alright, I'm going to take these, and after a few minutes of seeming to enjoy the music, I'm gonna stretch and get up from the table and stretch my legs. And I'm going to head back into the back area. Is this the kind of place that would have indoor privies or outdoor?
Trapper's Camp has outdoor.
Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm going to take my 2 forks. I'm going to bend the tines off of them, save for 1 on each. Because pewter is soft, and I should be able to do that.
Okay.
If it's harder, I can make a check if you want.
No, it worked.
Okay. And I'm going to use these as a rake and tensioner to try and open this door.
Okay, Bard, you have seen him go upstairs. You've seen him come back downstairs, sit at a table for a second, and then go back upstairs.
It was a couple minutes. I listened to a song.
I'm going to use move silently and make my way upstairs.
Okay.
Do you want me to go ahead and roll that check?
Yes.
Okay,
So I have to make a listen check.
I get a +5 for my size bonus and dex bonus. 19.
Okay.
I got 18.
So I've got you on the stairway, just casually watching to see if anything interesting is happening. Now we're trying to pick a lock.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick a lock. I didn't manage to hear him. So, is this, let's see, probably a disabled device?
I believe so.
Okay.
No, is it open lock? It's open lock.
Oh, open lock. There it is. Well, I am extremely good at that, actually. I would be if I didn't roll a 3, so that's an 11.
Bad die.
I'm going to. I have a bard ability. It's going to be open close, and I play a little song on my lute and use open close on the lock.
It won't work like that. It'll work on a door that's not locked.
Balls.
Also, I think that playing anything on your lute would reveal you, like,
Yeah.
make you obvious. In case you were hoping not to become obvious.
Well, I've also been doing it all over the hotel, so I'm at least,
something
trying
for
to be inconspicuous.
the unnamed halfling bard. You do observe that there is an elf who seems to not like Alpheus and also is attempting to get in his room, but you are aware that if you stay there much longer, it's not just him you'll have to worry about. Patrons will see you. And it'll be better for you to go back and continue to play at this point.
I go and sit back down to where I'm no longer in the stairwell, but I can remain within earshot of what's going on upstairs.
Yes, good.
Out of curiosity to the DM, was this halfling the only one playing music for the tavern?
Yes.
So when he stops playing music, is that a noticeable silence or change in the feel of the area?
Depending on where in the tavern you are, yes.
Okay. Would I have noticed it being only one staircase away?
Make a listen check.
Okay.
Because
My listen
sometimes
check from before was an 18, but I can make another one if you want.
that was an opposed roll. In this case, it's simply, did you drown out the music or did you notice it stopped?
Okay. Listen. At some point, I'm going to memorize as a +3, so that's a 15.
It's a what?
15.
You're vaguely aware that the music stopped for about a minute.
Okay, then before I get this door open, I assume... I could be assuming too much. I did roll an 11 to try and open this door. But picking a lock is something that you can take 10 or even 20 on.
Yes, with Trapper's Camp, remember how I said that the good tavern pretends to be a high-end tavern but really isn't? It was good enough to get into the door.
Okay. Then I'm going to stand up as I manage to get the lock open, and I'm going to look around, and at that point is when I kind of notice that the music has stopped and then suddenly starts up again. I go,
yeah, the music starts up, and you're thinking, wait, there wasn't music just now.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean there's a significance to it unless you read it into it.
Right. He must have finished a song just then. I'm gonna
I was moving my capo.
Once I'm sure that the hallway is empty of observers, I'm going to push the door open and then close it behind me.
Good. Now you are in the room.
Mm-hmm. Now I get to roll search checks.
Yes. Do 2 of them.
Okay. And I'm going to be going through drawers under the mattress, inside of any shoes or boots that are lying around. If there's any boxes or anything that is not obviously belonging to the tavern as a furnishing for the room, I'm going to check that first, and then move to the chests of drawers or any closets there might be. All right, do 2. Terrible. Very terrible. Super terrible. This is search. So that is a 3.
Okay, make another one.
And that one is a 16.
You believe that you have thoroughly gone through the room, short of ransacking it, and you have not found any pieces of paper save just a blank piece of parchment lying out with a quill next to it.
And how many windows? Like, are there windows in this building?
There
in
is
this
one
room?
window.
How big is it?
Medium-sized.
Okay. And if I take a peek out of it, what is below the window?
We're looking outside the window.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking for a second. It is a small alleyway between two
Okay.
buildings.
Okay, so not likely to be a lot of observers if I wanted to make this my exit strategy.
Yes.
Cool. All right. How long did it take me to search?
5 minutes tops.
Oh. Okay.
There wasn't a lot of stuff.
I mean, if it's only 5 minutes, I probably feel safe doing one more sweep.
Sure.
Okay, I will do one more sweep. In fact, if I take 10 with this, does that mean it will take an hour, or does that mean it will take 10 minutes or 20 minutes instead of 5?
Take 10 is a simple action, and take 20 is an hour.
Right, well, okay. Then I will take... No, I can do better than taking 10. Ooh. I have too low a modifier. Okay. We're just going to have to do it like normal. We're going to sweep the room one more time. And I got a 14.
Okay.
Which is better than having taken 10.
Right. Same result. You're convinced that, based off what you've seen, this paperwork must be kept on the person of Alpheus.
Okay. I need to do a little bit of debating, so if you want to jump to somebody, I need to think before I make my next move.
Sure. No new developments with the unnamed bard. Rook, is there anything else you're wanting to do, or are you just casually pretending to sharpen your sword near the door?
Well, I wouldn't be pretending. I'd be
Well, you're
actually
done.
sharpening. Like, I try to take very good care of my weapons, and since I'm not in combat, this is a chance to take care of them.
Okay. I guess at this point you could move on to, I don't know, armor maintenance or something, because this is taking a lot longer than originally anticipated.
I mean, sure, but sharpening a greatsword does take quite some time.
Okay.
But, yeah, I would...
I mean, the armor
like
did
to-
get dented up a little bit from the encounter.
I'd like to move on to armor, but since I'm basically here for bodyguard purposes, I don't want to have my armor off.
Yes, fair. Your understanding from the situation so far would indicate that although there are people who apparently don't like Barton for some reason, and he's had something to make amends for, really no one has been saying, let's go upstairs and storm Barton's room or anything like that, just to give you a little bit of background here.
Yeah, but I know he spent a number of coins on this room, and given this is the crappy inn, I don't expect it would normally cost that much, so I would bet he paid for
Oh
silence.
yeah, that thing.
So I'm guessing they don't know he's here, and that's why I specifically never said his name when trying to get him to open the door.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to make sure I don't blow his cover if he does in fact have that.
Yes, that is fair based off of the assumptions you were working under. Anything that you've come up with, Gaz?
How long would it take me to make it not look quite so ransacked?
Fairly easily.
Okay, I'd like to straighten the place up so that it doesn't look like it got completely turned over.
Here's a question. What are your other two mental stats, your intelligence and wisdom?
My intelligence is a 14, and my wisdom is an 8.
Okay. So with an analytical approach, we can probably get the room back to where it was.
Cool. I'm smart. Not wise. Alright, after that, I'm going to take that pen. I'm going to put a note on this piece of parchment that's laying obviously on this surface. I'm going to check the back side of it first to see if it's been written on.
What does the note say?
So it's blank on the back side too?
Yes.
Okay. Just going to say, gonna keep it simple. The note's gonna say, your benefactor is displeased with your recent output, you had better up your game. Signed, a watchful friend.
And where to after this?
I'm gonna go out the window carefully as I can and go back to that other tavern.
Okay, do a hide check for me.
Alrighty. Pretty good at those. I got 13.
Good enough. You're convinced there's really no one paying attention right now.
Cool. So I drop down the one story to the ground between these two buildings. I'm going to make my way back to Barton and Rook.
As you are making your way back, you take notice of something.
Oh.
There are two men that you seem to remember being part of Alpheus's gang of four that are walking across the street and heading back towards the Good Tavern.
I see. Well, they never saw me, so I'm going to allow myself to walk right close to them and listen to what they're saying to each other.
That is true. They did not see you on the previous day. You will not need to make a listen check. They're conversing, and it's blottity. Alpheus is our boss, and he's in this tavern, and we're gonna go see him now. That's like Oblivion style dialogue right there.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, Alpheus he must have entered the tavern before I left. I missed him.
Are you following them?
I was hoping to get back to Rook, but I guess so. I'm gonna, like, as I walk past them a little ways, I'm gonna quickly, like, pat myself down and palm my coin pouch so it stays quiet and say, damn it, I left my money behind, and I'm gonna teeter back into the tavern after them.
All right, let's get back to the unnamed halfling bard that is playing music. You have observed that for some time, the youngish elf that was sneaking around has not returned. And the whole thing is a bit confusing to you considering Alpheus has been down here hanging out in the lobby this whole time.
The whole time?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
And then shortly, it's been a good 15 minutes or more, in comes the two remaining members of his crew, and then behind him, the elf stumbles in pretending to be drunk.
Might not know I'm pretending. I could roll.
Well, unless you spent those 15 minutes drinking in Alpheus's room.
He had the good stuff up there.
He got into the 18 year. I'm going to...
You're just observing at this point, right?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a listen check to see if I can get anything from what's about to transpire between these two goons and Alpheus.
Okay.
I'm going to start checking around a nearby table like I'm looking for drops.
That's another 19.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Rook, Gaz, sorry, doesn't take long for you to observe the two thugs as you're, looking casual like you said. They head over to someone who looks a little bit less dirty in the face than them, but dressed almost like them, which is like it's like leather armor. It has like a special like reddish brown sort of color to it, and he's also got like this cape sort of thing going on, so he can look all official like. Mm-hmm. And they go and they sit next to him, and it looks like they just went off to run an errand and they've come back. So now there are him and his three thugs, and they're all just sitting there. Alpheus and the one who's been sitting with him are currently gambling. They're playing, it looks like some version of Three Dragon Ante, and the other two are just sort of listening to the music.
All right, I'm going to be checking around under this table, and eventually I'm going to, like come up with the pouch. There you are. I'm gonna seem just a tad unsteady, and I'm gonna plop down the chair like this is comfortable.
So where are you? Which chair?
Somewhere maybe a table away, close enough to hear what's going on.
Okay, make a spot check.
Can do. That is +3, 21.
You're fairly certain in this man's back pocket, he's got a piece of parchment sort of sticking out a little bit. Now, it could be anything because he's sitting there, he's playing a card game. Could be cards, but you're fairly certain it's parchment.
And this is the less dirty in the face. This is the Alpheus man.
Yeah, this is probably Alpheus.
Okay. And nearby, the bard is strumming away on his lute.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to start bobbing with the music. And eventually, is it? And he is somewhere nearby the Alpheus feller too, right?
Ish. It's they're in the same sort of corner.
If I wanted to get to the bard, is Alpheus in a more or less direct line between me and the bard?
Not necessarily.
If I'm in the vicinity of the bard, am I able to be near Alpheus in a way that is not necessarily off?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a way to be near the bard and have a line of sight.
Okay. This is not about line of sight. This is about approach.
Gotcha.
I actually
yes.
want to make contact with him. I am going to finally, as this song seems to start to wind down, I'm gonna slap the table and push myself up, and I'm gonna stumble my way over to the bar. I'm gonna pull one of my silver pieces out of my pouch that I'm holding in my other hand. I'll say, "Hey, halfling, I got a request. I want you to play Ragnar Red. You know a song?"
Again.
What? Sorry.
I'm
I cut out for
pushing
a
this silver coin at you. I was like, I want you to play Ragnar Red. And my favorite song. Come on. Yeah, take the money. Take the money. Take the money. Give me money.
Can I?
Give me some money.
Let me do a sense motive check to see if I can see through the charade. But reluctantly, I'll go ahead and take the coin and start to play the song.
Give me that sense motive. Lay it on me.
What am I rolling?
I've got a 17.
You can oppose it if you want to, Tristan.
I mean, I'm trying to convince the whole room I'm drunk, so he's
why not?
part of the room.
Why not? Go ahead.
I've got what am I looking at?
Bluff.
I've got bluff, and I've also got perform dance. But I figure I'll use perform dance in the next part, so we'll start with bluff. All right, that's a 20 for bluff.
Okay.
It's
Seems drunk enough to me.
So
I'll play the song.
So halfling, unnamed halfling, unnamed halfling. This elf is playing the role of a drunk person to a T. If you hadn't just seen him gone up the stairs completely sober, not 15 minutes ago, you would have bought it. And clearly something is going on where if you assist him, Alpheus suffers.
I I know that he's not drunk, but I'm curious anyway, so I would like to see where this goes.
Wait, you're
And,
telling me
I
if
play
I help
along.
you, Alpheus suffers?
You got the reference? Yes, so the thing that you asked him to do, he will now do.
do
He
your
starts
thing.
playing the song, I just start clapping happily, and I'm gonna roll some dance. That is a really good dance. That's a 21 to dance. I'm amazing for a drunk guy. And by that I mean I look really sloppy drunk as I start dancing around. I'm going to eventually start to totter my way toward this card game that's going to go on.
Oh
And
boy.
what I want to have happen is I want to be like really happy into it, and I want to just knock Alpheus the fuck over. Like his whole chair goes down. And as that's happening, I want to roll sleight of hand to get that paper out of his pocket.
As you're dancing towards the table, you hear Alpheus, the guy next to Alpheus, say, hey, watch it, idiot.
Dance with me. Oh, this song.
How long
Just
is it
like-
going to take you from the beginning of the song, you watch it, idiot, to knocking him over?
Oh, probably under 30 seconds.
Okay.
I just need enough time to like get that momentum going to like really seem like this drunk guy's into the song, and then plow into this chair and just knock it over sideways with its occupant.
Okay, make a strength check.
Oh, I'm not great at those. I got a 7.
Okay. You're aware as you go into the action of knocking over Alpheus, you're going to need a little more oomph than you currently have.
That's why he gets his dance partner. Get the two of them to knock it over.
You're going to have to do something to make sure that this goes off the way you want it to.
Need more oomph, huh? Oh, how about, what if I, like, grab the chair next to him, if nearby it's empty, I pull it out and I stand up on it to start belting out the lyrics along with the bard in a really obnoxious drunk guy way and topple that whole thing over.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. We'll do that.
Okay, Rook.
Yo.
A man sort of half jogs into the inn and says, I think Alpheus is about to kill someone.
Knowing who that likely is... Well, actually, I don't think it even matters who it is. I need to go see this.
It involves
Close
Alpheus
up
and it
to it.
involves someone who is going to get hurt.
Yep. I pick up my weapon and I go down and ask who and where.
Alpheus, a drunk idiot, and across the street in the Good Tavern. And he looks over at the bar, realizes there's no one standing there, so he doesn't have to cover for himself. So we'll go back to
The other tavern.
We'll go to the Good Tavern because no one can be offended by me saying that. And Gaz is currently getting yelled at. Alpheus, who says, did you get hit on the head as a child? What is wrong with you?
Me?
He has two of his goons grab you, pick you up, and hold you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You want to dance with me? You should dance. I'm sorry. I can make it right. I got silver. You want some silver? I got silver.
Alpheus is about to punch you.
Oh, we could dance. Just like holding up my hands in front of me with the like pouch in between my fingers. Dancing is better.
How much do you have, idiot?
I got 2 silver pieces. It was gonna be for booze, but it's all yours.
That is way below my usual protection rates, so unfortunately you're going to be hurting very soon.
Alright, I just want to know before he starts hurting me. Did I manage to, because I never got a chance to roll my sleight of hand, do I
Yeah.
have the piece of paper?
I've been waiting for the sleight of hand roll.
Oh, I didn't hear you ask for it, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't ask for it. I was expecting you to do it.
Okay, alright. So sleight of hand is gonna be 19.
You have the paper. It is in your
Okay.
pocket, not visible.
Cool. Sweet, excellent. I'm gonna like reach into the, like, as much as I can with the two guys holding my shoulders. I assume I'm gonna like reach into the pouch. Like I got it right here. I'm gonna pull out the two silver coins and palm the pouch away again. It's all I got. It's all I got. It was everything. It's all yours. I'm sorry. I just wanted to dance.
Make a dexterity, what is it? Reflex save.
A reflex save.
Allowing you a class bonus to dexterity check, basically.
Yeah, reflex saving throw is going to be a 20.
Good, you dodge right as he goes to punch you in the face.
Geos! Whoa! Ah.
Unnamed Bard. You've seen all of this transpire, because obviously the music stopped and there was a record scratch. And you see this elf who you're fairly certain isn't for Schnicket, and he dodges a punch to the face and still pretends to be 3 sheets.
I just want to be friends, man!
At this point, the paladin comes bursting through the door. And you hear people saying, he just punched that drunk guy.
Do I not go ahead and just roll for initiative right here? Or
If you want to help them out, you can roll for initiative.
Starting up.
We are not going to be using...
last ditch effort. I'm gonna. Ooh, I guess that's not gonna work. I can only use fascinate if we're not in danger. And
You're in danger.
in danger.
That's odd. I don't feel like I'm in danger.
That's because you just like ninja dodged a punch.
Okay, so if I don't like Alpheus, I'm assuming Alpheus knows who I am.
It's very likely that we're going to cover why you don't like Alpheus next week.
Oh. Ooh.
But you don't like Alpheus.
Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and kick off with an inspire courage.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling we're just...
Yep. And that bonus will apply to anyone you want it to apply to.
Okay. Let's see. I'll go ahead and use it on the elf.
Okay. There was a paladin who just burst through the door ready for a fight, just so you know.
Well, I wouldn't
I
have
know, but
burst. I
I
would not have burst through the door.
Okay.
The elf is going
just
to need
kind of,
those
like,
saving throws, I think.
Pokes his head in like, is there a fight going on?
Yeah.
I want to watch.
Is there a fight? There's a fight?
Ideally, I would have entered and gotten myself positioned to where, like, if there was any type of interaction with, like a hostile interaction with, Gaz, when he inevitably misses or hits him and bumps him into me, I can kind of try to turn it into a bar fight and get everybody involved.
It'll take movement action for you to get to where they are. But yeah, we're at a bar fight situation very quickly. By the end of the first round, it's going to be a bar fight. And also, for that reason, we're not using a grid.
I'm kind of deep in the tavern being held by two guys while the third guy's trying to punch me, and I'm just too drunk to be hit.
Okay, roll your initiative.
Me too. I'm gonna assume me too.
I got a 10.
I got a 16.
Got a 14.
Okay.
Well, I hope that they get a 12. That way it can be 10, 12, 14, 16.
Ooh, that's nice.
All right. Bard, what is your character's name?
My name is Fredegar Goodbarrel.
And I'm going to roll initiative for the NPCs.
Oh, you good for short.
This is the second campaign where I've played with a halfling named Good Barrel.
Really? I've never done so.
11.
Is it one of the book names? Is that why?
It is in 5th edition, at least.
Oh, okay. Good barrel. It's like good berry, but in a barrel. It's a whole barrel of good berries. It's a lot of good berries.
It is the top tier halfling last name.
Not Fleetwood Mac.
Hey, we are rocking and a rolling here. Boosh. Boosh. So Gaz is first.
Yeah.
He was so close to a 12.
Right? Almost perfect. I'm gonna drunken dance my way out of this situation. You ever see the movie The Legend of Drunken Master?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Jackie Chan right now.
I'm Jackie Chan, y'all.
I'm Jackie Chan, y'all. Was he cool? All right. So if I might make are they like totally grappling me and I have to escape the grapple first, or if I make a performance check, can I use that as a way to wiggle free?
I really want to say yes to that second question.
You don't have to. I'm asking.
But with the situation as it is, when you dodged the punch, one of them basically isn't holding you anymore.
Ooh.
And the other one is trying to grapple you at a penalty.
Okay, so I should make a grapple check to get away, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. My grapple check is 0. Awesome. So, we just get to roll a die. Oh wait, no, it is a 1. I do have a strength modifier. No size modifier, no base attack bonus. Okay. That is a 15.
That's good enough. You have wrestled free.
Okay. And I honestly just want to start making my way drunkenly toward the door. So if they're going to take swings at me, I would like to roll tumble, which allows me to not take opportunity attacks if I make a 15, I believe.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
With the confusion, there will not be attacks of opportunity on you.
Oh, okay. Then I'm just gonna if I actually don't have to avoid attacks of opportunity, I'd like to just roll perform dance to like make my drunkenness like more apparent and as an explanation for me like teetering around things in unexpected ways to get toward the door.
All right.
And I want to make myself as scarce as possible.
Make that check.
Okay.
As you are doing that, Fredegar begins playing something on the lute. What is it you are going to play? So that you can be doing
Inspire Courage.
Yeah, with the Inspire Courage, what song will you play?
Ride of the Valkyries.
I'm envisioning the equivalent of like bluegrass in a bar fight in a western.
I'm gonna go with The Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Perfect.
Do we want that playing right now?
Let me see if I can find it.
You can just type in play, command play immigrant song and hit enter, and it'll bring up 5 options, and it's usually just the first one will be
I'm trying to
right.
see if I can find a bardcore version.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's fair.
Oh, it doesn't exist yet. Now then, we're not gonna switch to the immigrant song. Just imagine that
Oh no.
it's a bardcore cover of it.
Never heard it.
Ah,
Now I've got to
You know,
record a
it's the one
bardcore
from
cover
Thor
of the immigrant song.
right?
They
I
play it
have heard
yeah.
it. I guess I just don't know it by name.
Yeah, it's the
They play it
leitmotif.
like 4 times in that movie.
It's the leitmotif for Thor at the height of his power with his hammer and without.
Yes.
I said
Like,
that.
if you just go
Sorry?
ahead. If you just think of that opening scene where he's fighting all of those monsters that the fire god summons, whose name is escaping me, the moment his hammer comes to him and he starts smashing his way through all of them, that's the song that starts playing there.
Surtur.
Gotcha.
Surtur. That's it.
Yeah.
Surtur, son of a bitch. I
Yep.
thought you were dead.
All right. As you are doing your move to the safety that is your large rook friend, you hear the lute start playing a lively tune. Sounds kind of psychedelic. And when you need it, and you get the +1 on your attacks, you will notice some sort of magical effect giving you competence. Or courage, you might even say.
You might even.
At that point, now we have Alpheus, who follows after you and makes an attack against you, against your person. I need to know your AC.
In Rook or me?
You.
Oh, I thought that I wasn't. Okay. My AC is 18.
Wow.
I spent all of my money on armor.
Yeah,
All
he tried to hit you.
It was probably a good try.
It was
but
a
I
good
got
try.
The good armor.
With as high as he rolled, his hand bounced off your armor.
Ah! I just wanted to hear my favorite song.
Rook, Alpheus is 10 feet in front of you. He just took a swing at Gaz, and he hit him ineffectively.
I assume she'll swing with a fist.
Yeah, it was fist.
All right.
I
Then I'll just shout bar fight and run up and deck him.
Like food fight.
Bar fight! Ah!
Okay, for this bar fight, I need the
Basically.
following. I need Gaz and Rook to give me 3 attack rolls.
I come from the land of fighting bards.
It's going to be too chaotic for you to have complete facilities.
I'm so drunk right now. 3 attack rolls with fists?
Yes.
I'm super good at that. Okay. Got an 11. Yeah. And a 10. And a 17.
Okay.
No, that's 3. Yeah.
Roll damage once.
With this, I don't think you roll damage for fists.
It's a
Do you?
D3
Oh, it's a D3. Okay.
plus strength.
Plus strength.
I don't have a
Alright.
D3.
You roll a D6 and divide by 2, round down. Alright, so that's 3 points of damage.
Nice.
Okay. So I got a 10, and I got a crit. I guess I have to confirm the crit, although.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, Tristan.
I'm drunk.
You're not.
As far as anybody here knows, I am. Except for
And I got a 13 to confirm the crit,
Okay.
and I got a 10. Oh no, an 11 for my last hit.
Roll damage twice.
Twice. Okay. Okay, let's see.
Don't let this drunken elf with 12 strength show you
The
up.
first one is maximum of 6, 3 plus 3,
Yeah.
and the second is 5.
Nice. So in the chaos that ensues, while there's a lively tune on the lute, and with the bonuses that you suddenly find yourself receiving in combat,
Oh, I forgot my bonuses.
I'm adding it in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Alpheus is suddenly going to be squaring off with Rook because Rook takes a swing at him. Meanwhile, Gaz goes over to sneak attack one of Alpheus's lackeys. And there's so much confusion, it's simply luck that you found one. And it was luck that it was a sneak attack. So roll your sneak attack damage real quick.
Okay. That is going to be an additional 5 points.
So you just knock that guy down, and then Rook in one hit decks Alpheus.
I just, punched him in the throat. He's going good night for a little while.
And then the fight continues for a while until about 5 minutes later, which is a long time in a bar fight.
Oh, yes.
Suddenly, you hear sounds from the door, you hear shouting, and everyone is told to break it up, break it up, break it up. I'm gonna make a few quick rolls real quick. Rook now has a black eye. You've taken 2 points of damage from a punch.
Damn.
I will take that black eye proudly.
I'm gonna die!
Ooh, I need to make another roll.
18 AC, 18 AC!
Okay, Fredigar did not have a broken lute at the end of this.
Oh, that's good for him.
Nice.
Those are very expensive to replace.
However, everyone's getting separated, and one of the foremen of the camp, with 2 of the people who will act as his deputies and whatnot, are breaking up the fight with their short swords. And then he comes up and says, "Who started this?"
That guy didn't want me singing. It's a bar. It's a bard. You're singing.
I say Alpheus threw the first punch.
Did he? And he looks at you. He's about to say, "Did he now?" and sees the shiner you have, and says, "Oh." And he makes a face like, "Well, crap! I can't do anything about it now."
She's an asshole.
It's like suddenly it gets kind of quiet because everyone's aware of what's happening now, where Alpheus is being accused of throwing the first punch, but the foreman cannot arrest him.
Does there seem to be a problem?
Alpheus says, "No, I don't think there's a problem at all.
Wasn't talking to you.
Let's go, guys." Alpheus calls his lackeys.
Hold up. Where is it you think you're going? You need an answer for throwing the first punch.
They spilled my drink. It was 3 coppers they owe me.
The foreman sort of gestures to you two that you should come with him because he's going to explain to you how he's not going to arrest Alpheus. But you already know what he's going to say.
We do, and we're not going to let him do that.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to put him on the spot.
Exactly.
So what do you say?
Is there some reason you can't arrest him?
Everyone knows exactly why. Alpheus, as he's walking towards the stairs, turns and says, "Yeah, they do." The foreman gives you the benefit of the doubt, and assumes you don't know, and says, "Yes, Alpheus has diplomatic immunity."
Tell him to prove it. I don't buy it.
I don't know what that is.
Alpheus turns and says, "You want me to prove it?"
Do it.
You don't got a mother.
He says, "Yeah, I'll prove it." Hold
Buy
on.
me a drink.
Wait. He points at Gaz and says, "He stole it.
What?
I don't have
I
it."
can't steal
I
anything.
tried to give you the true silver, and then you punched me.
The foreman realizes what's going on and says, "Where's the paper? Where's the paper, Alpheus?"
Yeah, Al, where's it? What paper exactly?
You get a look from the foreman of, "Just shut up, drunk person."
Fold my arms.
Well, long story short, Alpheus is now being put in binds because he cannot produce the paperwork. So let's fast forward. Let's fast forward a little bit of time here, because now you have succeeded in your goal of getting Alpheus arrested. And it is now morning.
Does that mean I got my 1 HP of long rest?
Yes,
Yeah, nice.
the shiner
Barely.
is still there.
Yeah, still haven't got the HP back from it yet. I gotta wait another day.
You all spend the night in your respective rooms, including the room that the bard, Predigar, has in the Good Tavern. And in the morning, Barton approaches your room and knocks.
Ugh. Who is it?
I got. You stay.
My head.
We need to get you some meat.
It's Barton. We need to talk.
I'm gonna pull open the door. Say, Barton, come on in. What's up?
Are you coming to Alpheus's trial this morning?
There's a what now?
Oh.
He makes a face, crosses his arms like, "Oh, you didn't have anything to do with what's going on."
I look at him very innocently. I'm gonna bluff. I
I
got
legit didn't know there was a trial today, so I look surprised.
a 20 to bluff.
He got a 20 on sense motive.
Fuck! Who wins?
A nat 20.
Oh, damn it! He probably wins. I got a dirty 20.
I'm not going to ask what happened, but I'm going to the trial.
All right. Well, just
wait
tell
up.
us which way it is. I'll catch up.
Yeah, I need to get my armor.
It's in the town hall, you know, where they tell us what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. We can find that.
Meanwhile, we've got Fredigar over at the town hall. Gonna throw him onto the cast list now. He's about to take a
Yay,
more active
Fred.
role.
God, does he get to be an eyewitness?
So when everyone is at the trial, here's kind of what it's like. I told you last time in episode 1 that there are 3 foremen who run the camp. I did not have the title foreman set up yet. And in a trial situation, one of the 3 foremen will act as judge and as jury and as prosecutor. So they will sit on one side, whereas the defendant and their what's the word? They have to have a representative. They cannot speak for themselves.
Oh. Wait, Alpheus has to shut up?
Yeah.
Nice. Before we go there, I want to read the paper that I stole from him. I want to know what it says.
Yes, it says that the bearer of this paper is a official of Dolostad, and is on a journey, a diplomatic journey, on their way to Averin.
I'm keeping this paper forever.
All right.
Oh, man.
And in so you've got Alpheus with his representative, who is someone he has paid, and then you have the foreman who is accusing him and prosecuting him, And the trial is pretty shut and closed. Like, everyone wants this guy banished from the camp, if not losing some limbs or something. So the trial does not take very long. And even though he's paid for a good public defender, he's not going to be in Trapper's Camp ever again. He keeps coming back to... He thinks that Gaz stole his paper. He doesn't know Gaz's name, but he says there was this elf. It was an elf, and he took my paper. Pretty sure he's the one who took the paper, and nobody cares. They just want him gone. So that trial ends.
Someone found a hat that covers my ears.
That trial ends in about 30 minutes. And then before everyone is gone, you're approached by Barton, who says you might want to lay low.
Sounds like a plan.
But from what? I mean, guys, going into the stocks for a while.
He's gone forever. He's not allowed to return to Trapper's Camp in the Badlands surrounding it. But you might want to lay low.
Mm. Well, hopefully you're able to reclaim your property from him, from his estate, which is, I can give you the room number.
Right around that moment, someone spots Barton and says, "Oi, Barton, what are you showing your ugly face in Trapper's Camp for? They should put you on trial next anyway."
Place myself in between Barton and this heckler.
Barton says, "Can we just go?"
Who's this guy?
"I don't know. Someone from Trapper's Camp. Can we go?"
You got a lot of friends, Barton. I guess we can go. I'm going to lean to, Rook and say, I think Barton's going to need more protection than what we've already given. Somebody's going to beat his ass around here. Also, did you feel like you were really, jacked up yesterday?
I feel like I got jacked up, but other than that...
No, I mean, when we went into that fight, it was yeah! Ready for it. I think my fist was bigger than usual. I mean, to say nothing of down below.
But Australia?
Grow up.
No? I've got, 7 more years of being a kid. Leave me alone.
When you are outside the meeting hall, an official comes up to you, one of the other foremen, with 2 guards, guard-ish, deputies, whatnot, points at you and says, "Gaz, is it?"
I didn't tell anybody my name. Who's asking?
I am one of the foremen of this encampment, and you are under arrest.
Why am I under arrest?
For theft.
Theft? Well, that's interesting. Those are some pretty heavy charges, sir, your honor-ness. Unfortunately, I have this piece of paper that says you can't arrest me.
He ignores you. Says, "You're going to have to come with me."
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna fold up the piece of paper and keep it close to me. Says, "Look, I really don't know what we're talking about."
Well, you can explain yourself on the stand after we've put you into custody.
Stand? I'm not going into custody.
You are absolutely going to custody.
He has diplomatic immunity. Says
It's
right
true.
so right there on the paper.
I can tell you exactly where you can shove that diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, you didn't tell Alpheus to shove this diplomatic immunity when he had it.
Well, you're not Alpheus.
Yeah, but I don't have to be. It says the holder of this paper.
Can I see
am
the paper?
holder. I'm going to hold it away from him if he tries to slash me. I'm gonna take it away.
I don't know. I can't read that. He turns to his.
I'm diplomatically immune. I'm sorry. Like, good job on the trial today. Alpheus got exactly what was coming to him, and you're welcome. And I'm saying this as I'm walking backwards away from him.
He says, "I can't read that. What about you?" His deputies are, "I can't read that. I don't know what that is." And they're still following you. They mean to arrest you. What'd you say, Derek?
Nothing.
I'm going on. They can have a nice low-speed chase with me then.
Barton is not taking any initiative in the situation. However, Fredegar is nearby.
Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and bluff.
Okay.
Excuse me. That man was instrumental in successfully charging Alpheus. He's done a great service to the community, and I think you should let him go.
What part of that is a bluff? All of that's true.
Indeed.
Well,
the foreman looks around and sees it's just the group of you, and says, "If I were to do that, I wouldn't get to stay on Alpheus's payroll."
There it is.
A moment into this, a hot second after that, another foreman, the foreman who was putting Alpheus on trial, comes out the door and is aware of the situation and whispers to Gaz, "There's two ways out of this situation, but I can guarantee you're not going to be found guilty."
I'm gonna keep my eye on the other foreman and say, what exactly are we talking about?
"He works for Alpheus. I already knew it. We can turn this thing around on him."
Okay.
You just need you just need a good public defender.
Do any of those exist around here?
He looks around. I don't know personally anyone who
I nominate that guy. I point at the bard.
He looks at the bard too. Yeah, you'll do.
But I have +8 in diplomacy. I was gonna be
He's
like
my backup public defender.
That is where we're going to put this on pause.
Thumb at Rook.
Because I don't want to go too far without Logan since he's got to go take care of something. I want to go farther into this story. I don't want to stop right now, but I'm going to do it out of respect for Logan. But we are going to start next time, episode 5, with the trial.
Okay.
Because you have a public defender now who is Fredegar. You know you can trust him-ish because you have done some things with him now. And then Rook is going to have something else to do during the trial.
I look at Rook and say, I think that to be a public defender, you have to have more than 5 minutes logged in the town, which we don't.
fair.
Mostly it's just you're not allowed to represent yourself.
Oh.
But
So
I'm
you
not
have
on
to-
trial. Just
you-
he is.
You have
I
to
know,
enlist the help of
gotcha.
someone who is trusted by the community itself.
There's the gotcha.
We're still friends, it's just I had to do it this way.
Yes. Rook, you're going to have something to do during the trial, and you'll know more about that when we do episode 5.
Yeah, I'll be murdering Alpheus back out in the Badlands as he leaves town.
Maybe.
Wow.
We'll see. We'll see. So everyone who came to hang out with us, I appreciate you. You are awesome. And I look forward to seeing you again next week while we continue with our fish out of water situation with the nature lovers, the tree huggers. And then we will see the fates of Trapper's Camp and its politics, and specifically Gaz, next time in episode 5.
It's just
What
one
will
thing-
happen to Gaz? He won't do well in jail. He's bad at holding soap.
It just keeps falling.
Just all the time. It's so slippery.
All right.
Just
See you
one more
guys
thing.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hashtag goodbye.
Hashtag goodbye.